I mean, this last story that I did, this Rollo, like the Atlanta sort of big drug dealer rise and fall story, he's not really like hyper relevant now, but at the same time, we're going through this big age of like people kind of snitching on themselves on social media.
Exactly.
People doing things.
And it was a big deal when he went to jail. Everyone was like shocked, but not shocked at the same time. You know what I mean? It was a thing where they were like, it was cool that he wasn't in jail doing the things and talking about the things he is, but then once he gets locked up, you're like, oh, not surprised, because he talks about this all the time.
It's funny though, like, you know, that story, and even just what you're saying, it's like, it's so easy to like feel like you're untouchable, and it's just like,
especially when you're that rich.
Well, that's the thing, but it's like you can't be. I'm not just talking about him, but it's just like people doing crime, like getting rich off crime. You can't. There's like so few examples of people that do that and then like ride off into the sunset. You know, like
you're not gonna hear their names. That's what I always think about too. Is like the people who are really ultra successful criminals. If you're an ultra successful criminal, no one should know your name. No one should. You should have no fame. You should have no infamy. You should have done your thing, and then it's just a mystery. You know, things have been stolen, things are gone, and all of a sudden that's it. You know, no one knows anything. So it's just like when you actually know, when you're infamous for being that type of person, it's like you're already fucking up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're the killer or the stealer or whatever it is, the scammer, it's like you done fucked up already, dude. Because people look at you that way. You know?
It's funny because it's like everybody now the big hustle and the big moneymaker is social media success and fame, right? But you have these different people from different kind of like walks of life, whether it's drug dealing, I mean there's street violence, gangs and stuff like that, but I think everybody's just trying to like capitalize off of that past for social media fame, which is like legit success. But if you're a drug dealer and you then move into social media fame, you don't just erase your past, you know, like with the Rollo story, it's like all that stuff he did came back to haunt him, you know, even though he had gone clear and was like doing the right thing. So, and you know, these stories, like I say, that story is not super relevant this second, but I think like the message behind it is like super relevant. There's this whole scam wave going on. You know,
you heard of a Hush Puppy, right? Or what's
Ray Hush Puppy.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been meaning to do that story too, but I haven't quite got around to it yet.
Dude, I looked into, well, I forgot who, someone posted a video about it, like his like story a little bit more, and that shit's genuinely super interesting. Like, yes, if you go off just the headlines right now, scammer stole millions of dollars. He's millions of dollars. He's an asshole, whatever it is. But if you look into his story, he was born in like a third world country, super dirt poor, no money, no type of opportunities at all. He learned how to be a scammer and basically scammed his way to fucking private jets and Bentleys. It's just like that's actually really cool and crazy, but he's in jail forever basically. So
I mean, it's that kid, right?
To borrow
someone else.
To borrow a phrase from the guy everyone hates, Andrew Tate, like this guy Hush Puppy did kind of break the matrix. You know what I mean? Like you have these people, whether it's a scammer or, I mean, in a way, I think a lot of drill rappers, people like King Von, they sort of like break the matrix or like break the rules of society, you know, whether it's like you're scamming millions of dollars or getting away with murder, like kind of these things shouldn't be allowed to happen, and then they happen, and then they become this social media for like spectacle. But it seems like once it gets big on social media, the cops or the powers that be or the enemies, whatever it is, like it's gonna end badly. So clout kills, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
And also, I feel like most of the time, like those rappers that are in those shoes, they don't like, they're not mature enough to even understand like how lucky and privileged of a position this is, like how small of a chance it is for you to get into these shoes. And like if you really understood those like statistics of like, wow, I'm like 1 in a million people to fucking actually get into these shoes, I should really not fuck this up. It's like they don't really understand that until later. They might be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that when I was younger, But then also that's the thing that comes with age. Everyone fucks opportunities up when they're young. Everyone does that. It just sucks that when you're young, you have a $50 million opportunity you're throwing to waste. You're like, fuck, that was super shitty of me.
That's like why the Pooh Shiesty story was like so interesting but also sad. Was that like he basically, whilst he was still out recording, and Back in Blood was like one of the biggest songs in the country, he had the biggest opportunity in rap, and then unfortunately couldn't break away from his old ways of doing things, shooting security guards, like running off with people's cash. He did
a like a burglar, or not burglary, but a robbery with the McLaren, right? Or something like that.
Oh my god,
he literally pulled up with a McLaren and stole like weed or something like from someone. It's like, you have a fucking McLaren, dude. You know how many people have a McLaren? Like 200. It's like, why the fuck are you doing this?
Eyes are on you.
Bruh. Who was genuinely too shiesty for his own good.
He was.
Bruh.